something that really strikes me about watching the show every year is the chemistry between you two. Somehow when you think it can't get any better, just somehow does from season to season. You two really, the chemistry between you two really develops and evolves. I'm curious, I mean, is that something that you two work on cultivating? How has that chemistry become so strong? Was that just there from the jump? Or, you know, how have you two become so enigmatic on screen together?
Well, when you work with Kayvan, I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, I was actually worried because I never had a chemistry with Kayvan, and I was supposed to, and I didn't meet him until the first day on set, and I was like, oh, this can go either way. And so when I met him, and I think he's just like, hey, man. It was the first thing out of his mouth, and he was so nice and warm, and Kayvan's probably the most giving, open actor I've ever worked with. Who gives you whatever you want. He asks you, he's like, do you want another one? You want another one? And it's like, whatever you need. He's so giving, which is hard to find sometimes in Hollywood. An actor who just doesn't, you know, who just does their lines like, this is my side, I'm not staying for your coverage. And they exit the room. Kayvan will stay behind the camera, just so you have the eye line. And we just hit it off from the get-go. I think that, you know, it was kismet. It was just like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like, once we met, we hit it off. We were, you know, friends, and we shot the pilot, and then we got picked up. And since it was already working, at least in my head, I was just like, this is already working. This is really great. And as we got to know each other, and I got to like, you know, he got to like meet my family. I got to meet, you know, his lovely, you know, fiance Talitha, and like just getting to like just be in each other's lives. Like it was just like we became closer. We finish each other's sentences sometimes. We know each other. We can like look across the room, and like we can tell exactly what he's thinking about someone who's in the room, because he can do some amazing voices. Then I look at him, and he just goes, he just starts laughing without saying a word. It's just that kind of thing you can't fake. You can go to school for acting and dancing and comedy, but you can't teach certain things. And it's just either you have a connection and or you don't. And we're lucky enough that, you know, we like to work with each other, and that and it plays out in the character, and people can see it, like just like you, Daniel.
Yeah, wow. I mean, I can't imagine a better answer than that. But Kayvan, I'll let you maybe gush about Harvey for a little bit here as well.
Yeah, you wait till you hear my answer, Daniel. You ain't seen nothing yet.
All right, bring it on. Bring it on.
That was a good answer. You thought that was a good answer. I'll
All right,
give you a better one. Yeah, basically what he said was pretty accurate. I think we lucked out. I lucked out. Harvey lucked out. The show lucked out, and therefore the audience lucked out. In that, yeah, we'd never met each other before, and we just got on, man. We just had the same sense of humor. Harvey is also an incredibly giving, warm, and kind soul, and you know, we just kind of gravitated towards each other in that way, and we didn't even have to gravitate, because we were like, well, you stand there and you stand there, and now you're going to speak to each other, and this is how it's going to work. And I think we needed that as well, because you know, the relationship between Nando and Guillermo is so, you know, power structured. You know, you could get the wrong actors doing that part, and they would always feel like, you know, you could end up sparking some kind of like status war there. You know, with the wrong actors. And the fact that, you know, we're both generous with each other, and we're both so aware of each other, and we're so like, we are finishing each other's sentences, you know, it's true. It just bled so beautifully into the world that we were trying to create. And I think the same can be said for Natasha and Matt, you know, with Laszlo and Nadia. You know, they're crazy about each other, and that just leaves poor Colin Robinson, who just I guess
poor guy.
He's got no, but again, he's the loner who like just jabs at us every once in a while. So you know, it's just the ensemble has been blessed with real life relationships that complement what the ensemble needs to be to sell to an audience, for the audience to believe in. And it does. And I think the proof's in the pudding, and the fact that we're still here after, you know, 4 seasons, and we've got 2 more seasons, you know, still to come, is like, you know, we're all relishing the prospect of working with each other again, which is I think a rare privilege to have, and one that, you know, makes the show better and better every time we all get into bed with each other. So that's how was that? How was
That was
that answer
fantastic.
compared to?
That was great. I needed
Wasn't
that.
it bad? It was. You needed that one, right?
I'm not going to say whose was better. It's a tie, and I needed both of them this morning. So I think that was beautiful. That was great.
Trainer got trained.
See, there you go. You know, I don't have to tell you two that fans of the show are very invested in the relationship between your two characters. And early on in the season, we get hints, of course, that Guillermo is maybe in a relationship. I'm curious about where you two want things to head between to go between your two characters, and you know, sort of where things stand right now with Guillermo potentially, you know, kind of having this new exciting thing in his life. Where do you see your two characters going?
Well, I see hopefully that they both find happiness. That's the thing. But where do I see them going? I mean, it doesn't really matter where I see them going or I think they could go, because the writers are going to write what they think is the best trajectory for these characters, which they have. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like they're still in each other's lives. Like, even though they're both searching to find themselves, whether in love or who they are, in the season alone, like, there's still love for each other. They will always have love for each other, to the point where they're in each other's lives. Like, they will be somehow in each other's lives. They're intertwined, and that's really great and sweet, and doesn't have to look like what sometimes the rest of the world might consider like they have to be together. They have to be together. They have to love each other. It's like sometimes you can love somebody, you know, and be in their life. It doesn't mean that you put a ring on it, you know. What does that love look like? Love looks different for everybody, and what your love language is different. So I just want them to find that and be happy, and that's what I think.
Well, Kayvan, like, we see, like, Nandor is trying his best. I mean, we see what's going on here. You know, all the ex-wives are back. What is his ideal happy ending? Does he even know?
I don't think there is an ending for Nandor.
Yeah.
He's, you know, he's got the best relationship he probably will ever experience under his nose, and that's his relationship with Guillermo. He just is sniffing around in all the wrong places, and I guess that's what he has to go through, because that's the only way he learns, by just making mistake after mistake. But up to 400 years, I mean, I don't fancy his odds. I mean, he's just like, it's a long time. I think giving his life new purpose excites me, because right now he's like obsessed with finding love. When he gets bored of that, he's going to need a new motivation. And what that motivation might be, I don't know. The fact that he's fighting again. I mean, I don't think he's been having many sword fights, but now he's like, you know, Guillermo's got him like battling again and spinning his sword around. I hope that the two kind of join forces, and instead of focusing on each other, they kind of kick some ass together. I think that would be really cool. I would like to see that.